Happy Monday. Well, today is going to be an interesting thing. My knee is still feeling kind of funny, so I've decided to take this Monday off. I know I've been taking off a lot of leg days, but I think it may have something to do with the volume. I'm getting older, so in regards to volume, according to Daniel John and several other people that I read that write about training and nutrition, Greg O'Gallagher, Mike Matthews, there's a lot of different people. I'm gonna have to probably taper. We'll see. I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to decide what I'm gonna do in regards to volume versus the training volume on the weights versus my riding, because I buckled my knee really bad last week. I think I don't know. I think I might have done it a couple weeks ago when I was riding. I remember I kind of had like this little funny thing happen, and that might have been it, but it just didn't show up for like a week or two, which is whatever. I think this is a grand opportunity, and the reason why I feel like this is a grand opportunity is because, and this is a nugget, I believe that it's better to dial in the nutrition when you're not doing anything, because see, then you can gauge expenditure better, especially as an endomorph. Oh, and just to add, I did get my fiber yesterday. I went with the Optimum Nutrition Fitness fiber. I'm not gonna say that it's the best stuff out there. I don't think that it is, but I am gonna see that if it increases the regularity of the bowel movements, because that if you're not having regular bowel movements, you are going to be holding on to more weight throughout the, obviously throughout the week. So I will make it part of the data and see where I go from there. But back to the the training. I believe that it's better to dial in your diet and see how the body is working without expenditure. Working with the basal metabolic rate, just whatever you naturally burn, just like sitting around and hanging out every day. Because if you can eat that same amount and then exercise, then you're going to be increasing the amount of fat you're burning, especially if you're eating right. So is it irritating not being able to train? Yes. But at the same time, trying to dial in the macros, if I can, like yesterday, for instance, I did nothing. I did a little walk on Beacon Hill, just kind of checking out a trail. But for the most part, I was sedentary the majority of the day. And I ate quite a bunch yesterday. I woke up at the same weight that I woke up today at the same weight that I woke up at yesterday morning. So right there, it tells me that like I was burning enough calories just by moving around, that all the food that I ate yesterday was like, I was good. So if I would have exercised yesterday, I probably would have woke up lighter today. The trick is, if you can dial it as an endomorph, is being sedentary, hanging out. I'm not saying that's a lifestyle you want, but being sedentary and hanging out to, test, and having your food intake and then waking up lighter the next day. That's when you have it dialed in. And realistically, according to Mike Matthews, it would be better to dial it into at that point, and then like eat those same foods every day, eat the same exact thing that you ate the day that you didn't exercise, but then woke up the next day lighter. You eat that same stuff if you can. It's hard when you're training, because obviously you have, your appetite's gonna increase, especially if you're doing cardio. But if you can eat that same amount of food, or the same stuff, really, just eat the same stuff, then you're on to something at that point. So I know it's a little all over the place. I got a lot on my mind today. I'm sorry. You know, I just these videos are off the cuff. I'm not like sitting back, preparing. I don't do that. I don't have time for all that. You know, I have, it's like I always say, I have a life. I just want to help people, but I have a life. I have a lot going on. So my mind's all over the place. But man, I don't like not training. I'm not going to tell you that I like not training. I'm a workhorse. I like to work. I like to train. That's just who I am. I'm a regiment. Boom, boom, boom. These are my Mondays. These are my Tuesdays. These are my all days of the week. And I love training 4 days a week. That's my methodology. That's how I roll. I've been doing it for months. I don't like having these problems, but my knee's irritated. And, maybe it has something to do with my back. I don't know. It probably does. I don't know. But I have some kind of inner knee thing going on. But like I said, I look at it as an opportunity to dial in the macros to the point where I'm going to eat, today. I'm going to go with majority apples today just because that's what I feel like doing. I feel like I have the flow of today to go with the apples. I'm going to have a shake. I'm going to have my fiber. I'm going to do all these different things to, eat, very nutritious, rewarding foods today. And if everything works out and I wake up lighter tomorrow, then I'm probably just gonna stick with the same foods for probably like 7-8 days. I have some things going on, family events going on this week that may not allow me to do it every day this week, because I know for sure this weekend I'm going out, so I'm probably gonna enjoy myself this weekend when I go out, just because that's what that's what you should do. You should reward yourself. But yeah, I'm going to eat the foods that I eat today. I'll probably, if I can remember, I'll share them tomorrow, and I'll share if I woke up lighter. And this is just with doing nothing. I'm just gonna be researching today, working, researching. I'm gonna spend some time in a library, reading quite a bit, and that's it. Sedentary. I may teach tonight a little bit, besides like showing a few techniques. I'm gonna be pretty much, inactive for the most part as far as like training is concerned. I didn't walk this morning, no cardio. So if I wake up lighter tomorrow, then I'm onto something. So, I suggest that you try and do the same thing if you're down, because it's hard to dial in your macros and to see where you're really at as far as expenditure when you're training every day. And, realistically, from what I've read, you don't want to rely on training expenditure for fat loss. You want to have a diet that you can lose fat if you're doing nothing. I'm not saying that you should do nothing. Now, that's not what I'm saying. But you should have a macro setup and a caloric intake setup to where, like, if I don't train today, then I'm still gonna wake up lighter tomorrow, even if it's 100 grams less weight, 100 grams less of fat. I mean, I don't have I don't have a scale that I can lose, that I can track. I think I could track. Well, no, I have one that I could track. I think tenths of a pound. But even if it's a tenth of a pound, or a quarter of a pound. If you wake up lighter the next day, another thing to get is the handheld fat loss monitors. They're not accurate, but they do tell you where you're, they show change. And if you can, if you can monitor that change, that should be in your data. If you can monitor that change, and watch, and if that body fat percentage that's on that handheld, that grip thing is going down, then you're onto something. But, like I said, I'm sorry it's all over the place. I just got a lot on my mind today, and I'm just trying to pump this video out so I can help people. So hopefully you can extract some nuggets from this. Take advantage of those days that you can't train to dial in the macros. I can't say that enough. That is a freaking crazy tip that I learned, a while ago. And like I said, according to Mike Matthews, he's shredded. He eats the same foods every day, every hour on the hour. Whenever he eats the same stuff every day, and he's had a huge success with that. You're gonna feel better when you're leaner, as far as who you are, what you're all about, especially if that's your goal. If that's not your goal, then forget about it. But if that's your goal, your life will start to improve on so many levels once your body starts to take that form, and that, you know, once it starts to move in that direction that you want it to be in, and you start to see that success and see that you have control of these things, your life's gonna get better. Happy